Okay, turning the corner, and we're changing the kind of series that we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at alternating series test on series, on summation. So let's just look back a second. This was the alternating sequence rule that we used in sequences. This is the alternating series test that we're going to use on summations. Okay, so first off, it's got to contain one of these. An alternating a negative one that's changing the sign, and I'm just going to use this one. Doesn't really matter which one. So if I have this kind of a situation where the terms, if I plug in n equal 1, n equal 2, n equal 3, that they're changing between positive, negative, positive, right, back and forth, that means it's alternating. So the two criteria that I need to have in order to get convergent by AST is that the terms must be decreasing. So the next term, right, the second term will be smaller than the first term. The third term will be smaller than the second term. Terms, the positive terms by themselves are getting smaller. And if I take the limit of those positive terms, they're 0. If I have both of those going on, then I have this alternating series convergent by AST. Notice, there is no conclusion. There is no therefore diverge by AST. So you'll never say those words. You'll never say diverge by AST. The only thing you could possibly get as a result from this test is converge by AST. All right. Let's go for it. So here I have an alternating series, so I can do the alternating series test. So first, does it look like the terms are decreasing? As I plug in larger n values, does it look like these positive terms would be getting smaller? Yes, there's going to be more growing in the denominator. Check. Does it look like if I take the limit as n goes to infinity of these positive terms, does it look like we go to 0? Let's check it out. Take the highest powers. I get 1 over n. 1 over n goes to, as n goes to infinity, goes to 0. Check. Okay, so I have, therefore, this converges by AST. Okay. Let's look at this one. Does this converge or diverge? I have an alternating series, so I can use the alternating series test. Does it look like the terms are decreasing? As n's are getting larger, does it look like these terms would be getting smaller? Yes, they do. There would be more growing in the denominator. If I take the limit as n goes to infinity, I take the highest powers, I get limit as n goes to infinity of 2/3 to the nth power. That number here is smaller than 1, so yes, that goes to 0. Therefore, this converges by the alternating series test. Okay, it is alternating, so we do the AST. Does it look like the terms are getting smaller? Yes, there's more in the denominator as n's are getting larger. So what about the limit? Hold on a second. If I take highest powers, I get 1. What? That doesn't work. Doesn't give me 0. So I don't get converged by AST. But wait a minute, I've fallen out of AST, and what I've just done now is a test for divergence by taking the limit of the nth term. So if the limit of the nth term doesn't equal 0, I get a conclusion that this alternating guy diverges by T4D. Okay, so let's check out and see what's happening with cosine of n pi as I plug in 1 and 2, right? So cosine of pi, that's plugging in 1. Cosine of 2 pi, that's plugging in 2. Cosine of 3 pi. Cosine of 4 pi. Let's see what this is. Cosine of pi, you know, is -1. Cosine of 2 pi, you know, is 1. Cosine of 3 pi is -1. Cosine of 4 pi, you know, is 1. Hey, wait a minute. Isn't this alternating? It is. So I'm just going to, use the keyword stealth. So this is an alternating series. So this can be rewritten as this, right? I can take out cosine of n pi and put in -1 to the n. So since this is an alternating series, and I'll just write it with the -1 to the n off to the side, I ask myself the questions about AST. Do the terms look like they're decreasing? Yes, they do. If I take the limit as n goes to infinity of the positive terms, I get 0. Check. Both of the criteria are satisfied. So therefore, this, or you can rewrite it like this, right? They mean the same thing. Converge by AST. Okay, so that's just one you need to know. Here's another one. So if it's all of this is in the angle, maybe I should put another parentheses in here. So what happens when I plug in 1? I get 3/2 pi over 2. Oops, hold on. Yeah, 3/2 pi.